managed to absolutely wreck my back. I am okay standing up here. The pain's like a 1 out of 10. Here's the ironic thing, right? I did a workout yesterday in the gym with Matt, and we did squats and bench press, like both heavy compound exercises. So, I think we did like 5 sets. The last set of squats was 110 kilos, 5 reps. It was all fine, no problems. And I get home at lunchtime, walk outside on the balcony, lean over slightly to, I don't know, rearrange one of the pot plants or something like that. And absolutely my back pinches and I'm like, what on earth have I done? So I've got this like lower back pain that I've never ever had before in my entire life that I can remember. Boy, I feel like such an invalid. I can sit down, but then when I try to stand up from a sitting down position, it is absolute agony. Like getting in and out of the car is ridiculous. Anyway, that's my whinge. Hopefully that will sort itself out. Who knows why I caused that to happen, but I did. Anyway, nice to see you all. Haven't been on the channel for quite a while. I was in a space of, I don't know what I want to say to people anymore. I originally started the channel to talk about the carnivore way of eating, and I've integrated that pretty well. I feel like I've done a lot of talking about carnivore, and was in a space of I really just don't know what else to say. And I had to think about, well, is this channel something I want to continue to do? And do I have anything else I could say that I'm curious about? And I've got to say, yeah. And sometimes I just need to like hit record and see what comes out. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just hitting record and seeing what comes out. So hope you're all been well. We're getting into end of April here in Sydney now. So this is where the time of year where I see how there's a bit of sunlight coming through the window. So my kitchen window is where I film these videos on my trusty iPhone 10. And it's getting a little colder here now. So it's nice to be away from the really sunny and hot weather. This is going to be my lunch. Boy, have I been cooking a lot of ground beef, as you like to call it in America. Mince, as we like to call it here in Australia. Always go for the 3-star mince. That's my first tip. If you are starting out the carnivore way and you like the inexpensiveness of ground beef and the simplicity of which it is to cook it. In fact, ground beef is so simple to cook that I have never actually created a recipe that I can think of, because literally all you do is put in the pan, like that's about half a kilogram of ground mince, or approximately a pound ground mince or ground beef. Put that in the pan on the cooktop, fry it, add some salt, boom, done. All right, that's how simple it is. And that is a very good carnivore or animal-based meal that's only going to cost, well, here in Australia, that costs $5 Australian, which is about $3.50 American. Probably about the same for you guys, even less. So $3.50, $4 a pound, I guess, would be what you generally pay for ground beef as well. And the great thing about it is that ground beef, steaks are nice, nothing wrong with a good steak, but ground beef contains a lot of other parts of the animal. So, especially if you're getting the lower quality, which is actually the better quality mince, that's going to contain, more gristle and connective tissue, and I think that's all a lot better for you. It's got a higher percentage of fat, so this one that I get is generally, it looks about 18% fat, 18 to 20% fat. There's a lot of fat that comes out of the meat as you're cooking as well, that if you don't want to eat it all, you can always keep it in a jar. I'll show you my jars. So I've probably got way too many of these. So any excess fat that I get, I'll put in a jar, and basically what I do is I have this little, it's like a tea strainer. So I take the lid off the jar, put the little tea strainer on top, and then I pour the fat through that. And that just filters out, the rough bits, chunky bits, whatever. And yeah, you get this. So, and you can use this to cook anything. So I've got some chicken wings, so I'm gonna cook some deep fried chicken wings. So because there's so much of it, I don't have to worry about, being sparing with it. So I can use a lot of this. So I've actually got 3 jars of this in my fridge. I cannot use it enough. I'm creating more than I'm using. So now I've got 3 jars in the fridge. But occasionally we do like something that's really deep fried, like chicken especially. And I'll go through a bit of it then. So anyway, that's what's for lunch today. Ground beef. And that's probably what I'll have for lunch for tomorrow. I went through a phase of having bacon and eggs a lot, and now it's all about ground beef at the moment. Anyway, I actually have some dishes that I need to do here, so I better get on with it. Currently dealing with an ant plague in my apartment. I just can't, there's little tiny little sugar ants. I cannot get rid of these things. I mean, this is an old apartment, so there are gaps in the building all over the place, so they've got a way to get in. And it doesn't matter how, I keep the kitchen pretty damn clean, right? And I'm always hassling my boys about cleaning up after themselves. So even when it's perfectly clean, the ants will find some reason to come in. And yeah, anyway, so if anyone's got good tips for how I can rid myself of a ant plague, because it's getting to plague proportions, let me know. I mean, down in the car park of this apartment building's got 6 apartments in it, and there's a car park, and it's just riddled with those ant mounds. So I know there's probably this massive colony underneath the apartment that maybe that's what I'm up against. Maybe it's me or them. Last time I was washing dishes, I think it was, is it Melissa Jane Middleton? I'm sorry if I didn't quite get your name right. I mean, you comment on my videos all the time, so you'd think I'd know exactly without having to think about it. There was suds. So this one's for you. I'm just making sure I don't actually have any suds before I put it in the drainer. Just looking at my pot plant on my windowsill here, which is on a saucer. It's rosemary, and yeah, this is what I put into my lamb roast when I cook lamb roast. Haven't had lamb roast for a couple of weeks actually. Might get some of that pretty soon. Anyway, if you're going to put something in lamb roast and you can tolerate herbs and spices and things, rosemary and also garlic. And I do have a couple of recipes for that, which maybe it's up this side. I'll put a link to it. I always cook lamb roast in the air fryer. It does such a good job. I did an interview today for my other channel, which is called Untethered Consciousness. And if you don't already know about that channel, you should go and check it out. So I talk about lots of esoteric things. I interview people about their near-death experiences and encounters with ETs and UFOs, anything esoteric. I'm right into that sort of stuff. Anyway, there was something something I think about often is, what to do with your life. So since I started this channel, my life has been through enormous upheaval. When I first started, I was doing work for some clients. I had since acquired a full-time job. My financial position has changed a lot for the better. And something I often hear is, just follow what you're curious about and things will work out. And I had this explained to me in a slightly different way today, which is you just don't know. Maybe you have a job you absolutely hate, or you're in a relationship that it's just like way too much hard work, or whatever, and you think, well, or you're just curious about doing something that perhaps that's completely different from what you've been trained or your current career is in. Let's just look at it from that perspective. And you can look at it and go, well, I'm curious about that, but it doesn't seem to, if you're one of these people who thinks that everything you do needs to, provide some sort of service to humanity, maybe it doesn't fit that very well. And the thing is, you just don't know. If you follow your curiosity, follow something that you're interested in, you don't know what's going to happen as a result of doing that. You don't know what you're going to learn, who you're going to meet, and how that will actually positively impact the people around you, your friends, your family, yourself. So I think that's the thing to remember, is that being true to your sort of passions and curiosities in life is, I think, way more important than people actually realize. So if you are one of these people that's been saying, you know, one of these days I'm gonna like do that. Don't be one of these people that gets to the end of your life and you're almost dead, on your deathbed, and you're going, you know what, I was always so interested in marine biology. I wish I'd actually done something about that. I mean, yeah, don't do that. If that's the kind of thing you have that just never lets you go, you can have these interests that are very fleeting and brief, and that's a little more like societal or just your ego at work. But I think other things that are they just keep niggling at you and keep nagging you and saying, I really should follow that. Just follow it. Take some time. You know, it doesn't mean you have to sorry. It doesn't mean you have to throw away what you're currently doing, but find some time to follow your curiosity. Find some time to do the things that you're curious about and just see where they lead, because you just never know. But once you get to the end of your life, well, it's too late. And then you got to go and start over again, right? Okay, dishes are done. Hope you found this video useful. I'm going to do my best to get back into a bit of a weekly routine now as far as my videos for this channel goes. Might have a recipe or two coming up. I haven't cooked chicken wings before, deep fried chicken wings, never done that before, so I might actually make a recipe for that once I've cooked it once. And I reckon you should definitely watch that video up there next. That would be a good one for you. Yep, you should definitely check that one out. See you later.